Hi there, my name is Philip Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is another comic book review, but a classic comic book review. Because let's face it, there isn't really many contemporary comic books that I would even be willing to pick up, let alone read. They all look pretty bad. So that's why we go back to yesterday. I'm just showing you my favorite comics of all time. So the comic we're going to be reviewing is this one, MiracleMan Book 2. Now normally I do these series in one go. But I love this book. I just love it so incredibly much that I'm doing it book by book. There's supposed to be, they've done 4 books of it. The first 3 are by Alan Moore, and that creates one incredible narrative. Then Neil Gaiman took over, and we saw the first of his books, and there were supposed to be 2 more. They said they're drawing them. They said they've been drawing them for years. Maybe they could release them. That's something I might buy from Marvel. We're going to be looking at this book. We're going to be talking about the history of it. We're going to be talking about why it's such an incredibly good book and how it's completely stood the test of time. Before we get there, though, can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? Thank you very much. I am pathetically grateful for everybody subscribing. And if you want to help a rabbi out here, that just hit that subscribe button. It's the only way. It's the only way for us teeny tiny micro channels to remain in any way competitive. If you can hit that subscribe button, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my competitions. The prize, maybe. I'm not sure when I'm putting this video out. I'm recording it on Friday. I think it's going out on Saturday. I'm not sure, but I'm doing the prize draw for this on Saturday. If I put this video out on Sunday, if anybody enters, I'll put you into next week's competition. I do a competition each week. This one lasted 2 weeks. So again, this one, the prize is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. My favorite, the Lord of the Rings movies. Fantastic 4-disc set. Extended edition of the movie, plus tons of extras, like 2 disc worth of extras, and they're all really freaking good. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Helm's Deep, my favorite battle in any I think in any movie. I can't think of a battle that I prefer, because I really like the length of it, that it's not a quick, it goes on and on. It's like a good hour of the movie, and it just delivers in every way. You know what else delivers in every way? MarvelMan or MiracleMan, depending what you want to call it. So let's turn this on. Doink. Comics being a visual medium, we should look at it. And I do not know who did this cover. Let me have a look here. See if this tells. I do not know who did this cover. Paul Newry, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not going to bother looking up now. But so this book, it has all new cover pieces. This is like an absolute lavish production. These books are hardback. They're nice. They're nice to hold as well. Oftentimes hardback books I find a little bit a little bit heavy. MiracleMan, MarvelMan is, I think, really one of the first mainstream comics that changed the industry. Right? I think if you're going to go to the very first, in my mind, it's the Adventures of Luther Arkwright, which Brian Talbot, the artist on it, sold me when I went to a signing for Nemesis the Warlock in 2018, and it blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. So this happened a little bit after that, and they basically what they did, they took an old 1950s comic book, which was essentially a rip-off of Captain Marvel. That's what I call MarvelMan, like a retracing, I think, of Captain Marvel. And Alan Moore then gave it put it in like a realistic worldview. Now, Alan Moore's name's not on this because he doesn't want to be associated with Marvel in any way, because they stopped him printing MarvelMan, stopped making MarvelMan like halfway through its run, because they sued him. Listen, I don't really know if that's his reasons. That doesn't make complete sense to me, but I do know he's been treated absolutely terribly by the comic book industry. So I can understand why they're being significant bad feelings. So essentially, what happened is this guy, MiracleMan, MarvelMan, had forgotten who he was, forgotten his secret identity, and then one day he's at a protest at a nuclear nuclear power station, and terrorists attack it, and he's feeling sick, and he sees the word atomic backwards, which is his magic word to turn from Mike Moran into MiracleMan, MarvelMan, and he's got all these superpowered abilities, and then he's trying to work out what's going on. So it essentially turns out He's married, and he has a life. It essentially turns out that everything from the 1950s run was a fantasy that was pumped into his head to make him understand how he got these superpowers. These superpowers essentially came from this big villain, Dr. Garganza, Emil Garganza. Being the head of a team that researched a crashed alien ship in Surrey in the 1950s. So, and he was a military project to make super people. When they saw how incredibly powerful they were, they had them destroyed by. There are three of them. They flew into this. Basically, this atomic bomb, which they hope would destroy them. It killed young MiracleMan. He lost his memory. MarvelMan lost his memory, and Kid MarvelMan turned out to be fine, and he lived without forgetting his memory, and became like the supervillain of the first supervillain that he faced off with. Fantastic, just a fantastic story. So the book one ends with MiracleMan finding the bunker in which he was developed with the help of a rogue government assassin called Evelyn Cream. And so book two starts off where we start off like this whole new narrative. The artwork here is by Alan Davis, and I think still, this was from '84, I think. It's still some of his best work. It's been recolored and recolored beautifully for for this new edition of it, and we start seeing what's going on with the Evelyn Cream, what he's been doing for the last few years. But again, just look at this visual storytelling and the line work in it. It's absolutely gorgeous, and like you can let me zoom in a little bit because I just love this. The ink work showing the light streaming through the trees, and you just know you're in like some South American jungle. Meanwhile, MiracleMan's like everyday life, Mike Moran's everyday life, and is not so great. It's not so great. He's got the regular pressures. He's arguing with his wife, who is absolutely gorgeous and who's now pregnant. And we get these wonderful fantasy sequences with young with Kid MarvelMan. So Kid MarvelMan, at the end of his Titanic fight, he got tricked into saying his magic word, which turned him back into the kid version of himself, and he's been catatonic ever since. So you keep getting throughout this book, his human persona and his evil superhero persona, fighting each other for control of the body. Basically, his human persona is keeping him catatonic, so he doesn't turn back into Kid MarvelMan and go out and try and destroy the world. But again, just absolutely fantastic work. But here, I'm going to go back to the page beforehand, because this visual storytelling is fantastic. We see him. We see Mike Moran. He's older. He's flabbier. He's just he's in his 30s, 40s, and then he changes into MiracleMan, and you just see like this incredible perfection. It's you have one of these incredible love scenes in it that are they're fantasy, but they're also there's a real tenderness with them. Right, again, incredible visual storytelling, which it just makes this book stand the length of time. So this episode, you've had this tiger being stalked by an unseen assailant, and eventually, the episode ends with the assailant getting the tiger. You're gonna find out later who it was. So then we have this incredible, this great cutaway scene where this kid happens to bump into MarvelMan, and they just have this really fun interchange where they talk about they just talk about stuff, and the kid is just like, fine, okay, I can I can deal with this. So the dialogue here is great. So are you a puff or a Nero? And he said, well, what? Like a super Nero. Like basically say, are you gay? Because you look kind of gay, So, but when he gets home, he finds this very. I'm spoiling this horribly, but if you haven't read it, it's 30, 40 years old. Still, even if I spoil everything, I'm spoiling a fair bit. It's so worth reading. If you're a comic book fan, if you're a comic book creator, this is just a masterclass in how to make absolutely fantastic comics. He gets home and he finds his house ransacked and his pregnant wife missing. So that sets up the story for the remainder of the book. And again, we get these incredible, like, just really fantastic visual storytelling. We have Evelyn Cream here. He's having this dream, and he's like running, and the phone rings, and it wakes him up. And you see how the dream melts into his waking reality. And so they're working together to find his wife. The wife, meanwhile, is in South America. She's a prisoner of Evelyn Cream, the guy who invented MiracleMan. So now we see the MiracleMan pissed off, right? And you have this real worldy stuff in there where Evelyn Cream's first thought is that the British government, has done this to try and control him. So it says, listen, he gets on the phone to his former spy boss. So listen, his wife's gonna be returned unharmed. If not, in 1 hour he's gonna destroy Birmingham. Next hour he's gonna destroy London. The hour after that he's gonna destroy Manchester. He's like, and he can. He absolutely can, and they beg him not to. He says no, they don't have him, and that's basically how they convince him. It's not. But again, just this is just Alan Davis just knocking it out the park, with this. And again, the coloring's fantastic. In the first book, it was Alan Davis inking Gary Leach. In this book, I just think is it better? I don't know. I actually prefer the art in the first book, but again, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, also you get in this volume all these like really cool little backup strips they did. So you got this one, young MiracleMan. John Ridgway did the art. Just fantastic. This is basically a textless story, and it works beautifully. That's really something really important in comics, in comics. You should be able to look at something before it's lettered and get a rough idea of the movement of the page about what's going on. So the other thing you get here is like these wonderful. Let me zoom in. These wonderful like behind the scenes things where you see like the original black and white art. And because it was originally printed in black and white, and it was just absolutely stunning. So the story progresses. I wish I knew. I'm going to guess it's Alan Davis, right? I'd actually not think. I wish I knew who did the covers on this, because these are really nice. And again, this Alan Davis continually knocking it out of the park. It turns out that Garganza is after MiracleMan's baby. His wife is pregnant, and she's pregnant with not his human version, but MiracleMan's baby. And they're making a distinction here that both of them are incredibly different. Again, we have some more these incredible scenes with Evelyn Cream. Whenever he falls asleep, he melts into dream, and those dreams are always like these kind of like terrifying voodoo nightmares in jungles. Slowly but surely, the baby starts to notice Evelyn Cream as Evelyn Cream is noticing the baby. Because we have a look back, just incredible artwork, kind of reminiscent of 2001. And here, it's just another fantastic backup strip. Who did the art? I'm going to say John Ridgway did the art on this as well. I wonder who colored it. And this was like an incident from the MarvelMan family back in the 1950s, where they tried to break out of their programming. And it explains how MarvelMan's costume changes from the 1950s through to the 1980s. When it comes back, we have an incredible little side quest on it. So we find out Evelyn Cream's backstory. Fantastic. These are two episodes that like it doesn't stall the action, but it heightens the action. I just love these incredible balance of moving the story forward and deepening the story at the same time, which absolutely perfect. So we learn about his life growing up in Buenos Aires and how he was a genius that basically gave himself into a life of crime before becoming a scientific genius and working for those naughty National Socialists from the 1930s until he defected and came to work for England. And again, we get these just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Let me zoom in a little bit. Extra stuff where look at the point work on it, gorgeous, and it's got this lovely otherworldly feeling. And this is not lettratone. This is a hand with a pen dotting, because lovingly every frame. And again, I just love because you can really see it when you see the original black and white art. Yeah, another great cover. So yeah, so then after we take a breath, we have like what was to be a big action sequence with MiracleMan attacking Gunz's compound to rescue his wife. Look at this. I mean, again, I can't think of a better superhero page. I absolutely love this. It shows the power, the majesty, the beauty. Everything is right about this. But it turns out to be a trap, right? It turns out to be a trap. And now MiracleMan is without his powers. He has his powers removed from him. He's turned back into Mike Moran, and he faces Miracle Dog, this experiment by Gunza. Now, the quality of the artwork quality takes a massive tumble. For the last third of the book, because this is where they stop production with the original run that was in Warrior, which is why Alan Moore, I think, won't have his name on the book. And so they eventually, after a number of years, it must have been 3 or 4 years, the narrative continued that was being published in America by Eclipse Comics, and Paul Galassi, I think, I should have his name on it somewhere. Paul Galassi took over the art. That was what it was called back then, but I think he's got a different name now, a different pen name now. Is it Chuck Austin? Oh, Chuck Austin. Chuck Austin, Paul Galassi, same guy, and it's just not as strong. It's just not as strong. Thankfully, they should have relettered this. But honestly, I actually think they should have sprung for John Ridgway to draw. Not John Ridgway, for Alan Davis just redraw these 20, 30 pages, maybe 40 pages. It's like, I say 40 pages. Let's say its page rate is whatever it is. But it would have paid for itself. It absolutely would have paid for itself. And look, this is not a diss on Chuck Austin. This was at the beginning of his career. Also, the lettering's just horrible. Obviously, I don't think they had the original artwork anymore, because they really should have sprung for re-lettering this. So this one does take a hit for a good number of pages. Look, he does his best. The coloring does pull it together. But we have you see the visual storytelling. It's just not as, I would say, perfect. It's not as perfect anymore. And again, no diss on him. It's just you're coming after somebody, an incredible talent, who was young and really at the top of his game, I think, at this point. But once you see the design sketches. Yeah, it actually looks better in black and white, right? But still, it's a real pity. I don't know why they just didn't hire Alan Davis. That would have made a lot more sense. He gets better as he goes along. So yeah, this again, I think everything that Alan Moore spells out very, very clearly in the script works very well, right? Because I think he talks about how to move the camera angle and things like that within the script. Because again, the visual storytelling of this page is stunning, right? You see the reflection in the eye, you see the close up of the teeth as he charges, you see the terror, and you see the pounce, and then the splash page, awesome. This splash page, absolutely fantastic. But still, that design work on the dog, it's a little bit too defined. It was, and it eventually MiracleMan comes back. And it's just not as good. it just really doesn't work. These things, it's not bad. It's not bad. I just feel bad for him. Coming after Alan Davis, sees things like this. With this thing when he bashes his head together. These you see eyeballs in it, in the middle of the brain explosion. And it's like, I don't know, like how are they not just for the realism that they had to go to lose it? I'm like, I don't know. But here. Yeah, another great scene though. Again, visual storytelling. Look at this sequential storytelling. Like, he just puts his finger in and goes through his chest. I'm going to guess it's in the script. So this bit really disappointed me. This bit really, really disappointed me, because I met Alan Moore many times, but I met him at a convention after it had been stopped, right? After they stopped publishing. And he told me what the story was, what was going to happen. And the way he described it was so much better than the way it was realized, that MiracleMan grabs Garganza and he brings them up to the absolute top of the atmosphere. So this looks like he's a little bit above there. So the air's thin, he's at the top, and his glasses start to frost over, and MiracleMan kisses him, and then lets go, and he just tumbles to the earth. So here you see him, a much less peaceful version of it, which the peace within it that Alan Moore described to me, made the character stronger, because he was above these anger, right? And then the way it's realized is just, I don't know, for me it just doesn't work. He kisses him and then he throws him down. I really love the idea of just letting go of him. So then we, for the last couple of issues, then we change the artist again, and we have Rick Veitch, and I think it works better. These pages are from the original run. These are not the recolored ones. I didn't have any digital copies of the recolored version. Actually, I kind of prefer this coloring to a great extent as well. And this is an incredibly graphic issue where MiracleMan's wife, or Mike Moran's wife, gives birth, and they have to find somewhere to go and give birth. She won't give birth there because it's like tainted. And there, again, another great piece of superhero realism. He can't pick her up and fly her somewhere else because she'll freeze to death. So he puts her in a car and turn the heat on, and he drives her somewhere else. They end up on this beach, and then on the beach having this quite famously graphic scene, this quite famously graphic birth scene. I feel kind of unnecessarily graphic, but I think what they wanted to do here was show the realism of this. I guess this is demonetize this video, but yeah, this is. I think it's kind of trying to get into more like the beauty of having a child. Yeah. Look, I've had four kids. It's you don't want to be looking at that. Let me tell you, it's not fun. It's not funny. Fine, but again, visual storytelling, excellent, because I think it's following Alan Moore. And then the final chapter, you get drawn by Rick Veitch and inked by John Ridgway, which I think is the most successful of these replacement artists. But still, they should have just got Alan Davison and redrawn all of this and give it some treat this book with the respect that it deserves. And so we get an interesting coda where MiracleMan has a baby. And you have these mysterious people, and firstly the baby is indicating that it might have other human abilities, super abilities, but also you've got these two strange people trying to trace MiracleMan's footsteps to work out what's going on with them, and it ends the book on a bit of a cliffhanger for the third book. Third book, you have John Toderben doing the art on everything. It's much more unified. And again, I just feel it's a real shame that they didn't spring for this extra money. Yeah, it didn't spring for the extra pages. Yeah, let's have a quick look at some more of the extras. This is Rick Veitch's pencils, and then again inked by John. I think it's John Ridgway. Inked that again, which I think is the most successful of the bunch. So yeah. Absolutely must-read book. All these books are must-read books. They are near perfect comics in my mind. If there's anything out there that you would like me to review, just let me know. And if I can get through it, I'll review it. My name is Philip Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.